You're listening to the Telltale Channel. In this podcast, I got my hands on a full episode of Janet Porter's new MAGA sitcom. Let's watch the whole thing. I already glanced through it, and it is so entertaining. Laura Loomer and Donald Trump are really close. Like, too close. Marjorie Taylor Greene noticed and is not happy about it. I'm assuming she wants to be the one in Trump's embrace. I don't know why else she'd care. Robin Bullock is convinced politicians are reptilian space aliens. Where does he come up with this stuff? He caught Nancy Pelosi red-handed. She admitted she's a space alien come to control the human race. Well, kind of. Actually, she didn't say that at all, but God told him it's true, so it must be. The Pope is dipping his toes into politics. Again, he said both Kamala Harris and Trump are anti-life, so people should pick the lesser of two evils. Let's talk about it. If you like what I do and you want to see me continue to do it, don't forget to check out my Patreon. Also, take a look at my website, owenmorgan.com. I'm selling my book, Understanding Jehovah's Witnesses, 400 pages, and my second book, 100 Questions for Jehovah's Witnesses, which is about 80 pages. And you can find them both there on the website. Audio form, ebook form, whatever. It's about my experiences within the religion and the history of the religion generally. The Pope has been dipping his toes in politics lately. Leading up to the 2024 election, he was talking about the candidates and who Catholics should vote for, basically. Pope Francis pushes false claim that both presidential candidates are against life, quote-unquote. This is on friendlyatheist.com, Hemant Mehta's blog. In a false equivalence worthy of a stereotypical New York Times headline, Pope Francis said Kamala Harris and Donald Trump were both against life. No one expects the Pope to be a political pundit, but the head of the Catholic Church is regularly seen as a moral authority, at least by members of his religion. And that moral authority said yesterday, during a news conference, that U.S. voters should choose the lesser of two evils in the upcoming election because they're both wrong on the only issues he cares about. So I hear you thinking, how does he think that Trump is not pro-life? Here's the answer. This is a quote from the article. Sending migrants away, not allowing them to grow, not letting them have a life is something wrong. It is cruelty, Francis said in a news conference on a plane as he returned to Rome after his long trip to Southeast Asia and Oceania. Wow, I don't hear people refer to Australia and New Zealand that way often. Sending a child away from the womb of the mother is murder because there is life, and we must speak clearly about these things. Okay. If you're going to go all the way down that road, then, I mean, there's life in an egg cell too, right? The cell is living, so is that like murder also? Is there a pile of dead bodies in some dude's sock next to his bed? Like, how far back are you going to go? Why did you stop there? It's literally two cells. It's not murder to get an abortion. It's not. They are like two cells. I think that most abortions happen before 10 weeks or something like that. At a certain point, it's like literally invisible. Like you can't even see it with your eyes. It's so small. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. You know, I've been reading a lot about World War II because I'm writing a book about this. By the way, owenmorgan.com. Check out the book if you're interested. It's about denazifying the church after World War II and about Hitler's manipulation of the church and all that other stuff. It's pretty interesting. And I have another book, Understanding Jehovah's Witnesses, about my time in Jehovah's Witnesses and how the religion works and everything. Anyway, in World War II, or before it happened, in Germany, 1933, that's when Hitler took over. Was February to April, basically, is when things really started ramping up heavily. And as soon as he took over, he was just appointed chancellor. So he's basically like he just won the presidency effectively. He didn't win a vote. He was appointed, but that's kind of the idea. He hadn't really done anything yet. And as soon as he gets into office, the Catholic Church, the Pope of the time, Pope Pius XI, agrees to swear an oath of loyalty to Hitler. It's called a concordat. Oh my God, what's it called? There's a name for this specific concordat. Anyway, the Pope said, as long as you allow us to keep our Catholic schools and, after school clubs and everything, we'll swear this oath of loyalty to you. And so Hitler said, okay. Unfortunately, something that the Catholics learned too late is that you cannot trust a dictatorship to keep its word. The Catholic popes of the era after World War II and everything basically said, they capitulated on human rights because they wanted to get something for themselves, which is to have Catholic schools and everything. Is it worth it to throw people under the bus, a few, if you can have your Catholic schools and stuff? At the time, they said, yes, it's worth it. We'll throw Jews under the bus. Why not? After the war, they said it's not worth it. We can't do that. But really, it's about the fact that they can't trust dictatorships. That's the bottom line. So I find it fascinating that who is it? Pope Francis? That is, yeah, Pope Francis. Find it fascinating that he's kind of moving back on that because Trump is very clearly the dictator candidate, right? If anybody was going to be a dictator, it'd be Trump. I can't believe he's like not endorsing like the other party. In fact, he shouldn't be endorsing anybody, in my opinion, but whatever. When asked whether it'd be morally admissible to vote for someone who favored the right to abortion, he responded, one must vote, and one must choose the lesser evil. Which is the lesser evil? That lady or that gentleman? I don't know. Each person must think and decide according to his or her own conscience. That's actually a step in the right direction, in my opinion. I don't like that the Pope is involved in politics at all, but if he's going to be, I appreciate that he's not trying to impose a choice on his people like this. I don't know. I guess that's worth something. How busted must your moral barometer be to not know the difference between a paper cut and a decapitation? Absolutely. It was an unprepared remark to a reporter's question, but it's not like he hasn't put thought into this. He offered the cowardly moral ambiguity we've come to expect from high-ranking Catholics who routinely treat Democrats as monsters because they think the government shouldn't be in the business of forcing women to give birth against their will. Yeah, Democrats aren't even in favor of abortion by and large. They are in favor of people being able to make choices for themselves in their own lives and not having that choice imposed upon them by government. That's it. Let's be very clear. It's not hard to know who the lesser evil is. The Democrats support women's rights, oppose gun violence, followed the science during the pandemic, and want to expand health care for as many people as possible. Republicans want to force victims of assaults, including children, to bear their attackers' kids, only offer thoughts and prayers after mass attacks, while doing nothing to get guns out of the hands of people who shouldn't have them, oppose life-saving vaccines, and push conspiracies that led to more COVID-related deaths. The point is that Republicans are very clearly much worse than Democrats this go around, at the very least. And I don't know how anybody could see it differently, especially the Pope. You know, this Pope, Francis, has been reasonably left-leaning. I mean, he hasn't been terrible. There are a few things that he said that have been warped and bad, but he could be worse. There were some worse popes, for sure. You know, Pope Pius XI, under Hitler, he capitulated with his Concordat. He swore that oath of loyalty to Hitler and remained silent all the way up until 1937, I think. I could be getting these years wrong. He basically wrote this document that was supposed to be distributed to all of the bishops and major pastors in the region in Germany and Italy and stuff. I think he printed 400 of them. And he was getting ready to read this document, basically, on this one morning, publicly, denouncing Nazism. After 3 or 4 years of this happening under his nose. And as a matter of fact, the next pope in line, Pius XII, would have, like, Jewish children dragged away to death camps, screaming under his window while they were going. He would hear that. Anyway, it was bad. And the day before the speech was supposed to be given publicly on radio and everything, Pius XI died. Just like that. Boom, he's gone. And Hitler gets Mussolini to get Pope Pius XII. Pacelli was his name. He took the name Pius XII because, I don't know, it's a tradition or something. He got Pacelli to burn all of the documents and destroy the printing plates that they were using to produce them. Destroy everything. Fascinatingly, though, we got a copy of those speeches because they were submitted into the Vatican archives. And I think in 2009, maybe, the archives opened up and released a trove of information. So that was pretty interesting. Anyway, the point is that popes throughout history have capitulated to terrible people and not seemed to understand the difference between, like, evil and vile, dictator, like really terrible stuff. Yeah, I don't like the way that Democrats operate by and large, but I don't, they're not terrible. They're not evil. Kamala Harris is not evil. Biden's not evil. Donald Trump, I mean, how do you define evil? Dude wants to take over the country in a dictator-like fashion, pretty clearly. He wants to remove people's rights as much as humanly possible. It's just horrific stuff. It's evil. So anyway, the point is, Kamala Harris is not evil. Donald Trump is. That's pretty clear. I don't know how a pope could miss that after their history of f***ing this up constantly. Oh my God, you guys remember that one time that Biden met the pope and some people just like made stuff up about it? You remember that? So Biden thought, well, Biden's a Catholic, of course, and he's like giga Catholic, loves the pope. Oh my God, he's his favorite guy. So he goes there and he meets the Pope, and he decides now is a good time to tell a story about a baseball player. Telling a story in front of cameras with a translator there because the dude doesn't speak English. Yeah.
Thank you for that. It was a famous...
Oh, I guess he speaks a little English.
African-American baseball player in America.
I know. Americano, Afro-Americano.
And he didn't...
It's his translator. So there's a famous American baseball player.
Get to play in the Major League Baseball until he was 45 years old because he was black.
He didn't get to play in the Major League because he's black.
He was
a pitcher.
He was a pitcher.
And usually pitchers lose their arm when they're 35.
In genere,
so he's 45 years old. Usually they lose their arm at 35. Okay.
He pitched.
Like, what an incredibly long story. Look, he's shaking his hand the whole time. Are you serious? Oh my God, that would be the most awkward thing I have ever experienced in my entire life if I were the Pope, standing there listening to somebody tell a story in another language that I don't understand, and he will not let go of my hand. Oh my God.
He pitched to win on his 47th birthday. The press walked in the locker room and said his name was Satchel Paige. Okay,
so he walked in the room after he pitched a really good pitch or whatever.
Allora i giornalisti sono andati nello spogliatoio.
The commanding officer said, Satch, no one's ever pitched to win at age 47. How do you feel about pitching to win on your birthday?
Tutti hanno detto, nessuno c'è mai riuscito a fare questo a 47 anni.
So no one's ever done that before. How do you feel about it?
Ti senti averlo fatto il giorno del tuo compleanno?
And he looked at me and said, boys, that's not how I look at age.
I'm sorry, what is it?
Boys, that's not how I look at age.
He says, boys, that's not how I look at age. I don't get it. Is this a joke? Is he telling a joke?
Ragazzi, non si guarda all'età.
I look at it this way.
And the Pope laughs like, oh, that's so funny. What? Why are you laughing? I'm sorry, man. I actually like Biden a lot. I think he's pretty legit. Too legit to quit, one might say. But this is a bad story.
I look at it this way. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you were?
Quanto vecchio saresti se tu non sapessi?
During his meeting late.
I'm sorry? How old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? Am I missing something? I don't understand. What the hell does that even mean? Anyway, there's a reason I played this for you. This was twisted into propaganda to a degree that you would not believe. Okay, so somebody played this and added subtitles to it that were fictitious. All right, that was like a weird story that didn't really make much sense, but okay, whatever. I guess it was funny to Biden at some point, right? I think it's an allegory about saying you can still do a good job even at an old age. Okay, fair. Yeah, that would make sense because Biden's being criticized for being old. And honestly, the Pope is old as sin too. So anyway, all right, I'll take that. Listen to the propaganda that came out about it. The caption under the video says, Joe Biden has a total mental breakdown during his visit with the Pope. American President Joe Biden tells the Pope, you're the famous African-American baseball player in America.
Thank you for that. He was a famous African-American baseball player in America.
Yeah, so they're just like, they're blinking a clown face over him and claiming that he's saying he's the God. It's just like so vile. Like, why would they do this? There's plenty of stuff to criticize him over. Why would you lie like this? Brazenly, openly lie. Like, make it up. Why? Anyway, Jesus Christ, man. I got to focus more on the Pope. I don't talk about him enough. It's insane. I think you know the answer to that. Yeah, absolutely. I've been reading a lot about Catholicism lately because of, the subject that I'm writing about. It's very intensive research, very detailed and fascinating stuff, honestly. Although I'm not as interested in like Catholicism and their role in the Third Reich as I am in the Protestant church. After everything happened, in World War II and all of that other stuff, and the Allies took control of the West Germany portion there, they had to denazify. First time the word denazify was used was in Pentagon correspondence in 1943, 2 years before the war would be won by the Allies. And Roosevelt was trying to work with people in the Pentagon and others to come up with a plan to denazify. And it was like an uphill battle. They created a full-blown, brand new religious movement called Positive Christianity. It was a version of Christianity created because they felt like they'd been beaten down by the Versailles Treaty. They were forced to pay war reparations for World War I. And they felt humiliated by it. The Germans did. And so they wanted a positive spin on Christianity, one where they're the heroes of the story, the Germans are, and they're fighting against the big evil, like cabal, the Jewish cabal or whatever other thing. It was just nuts. Positive Christianity had some really interesting features to it. First of all, they removed the Old Testament. They kept some verses of the Old Testament because some of it was culturally relevant, like the story of the three wise men and stuff. One translation of the German Christians' Bible, which is German Christians were like the extremists. They were the Nazi Christians. They called themselves German Christians, and the others called themselves the Confessing Christians or Confessing Church. Anyway, German Christians, there's one translation of a Bible that they used that mentioned the Ten Commandments. Pretty much everything else was removed from the Old Testament. And for the New Testament, they zeroed in heavily on John chapter 2, I think it is, where Jesus braids a whip outside of the temple and like comes in and whips the money changers or whatever because, Jews are evil and money grubbing and deserve to be whipped according to this ideology. Incorrect ideology, by the way. Do not ban me, YouTube. It's very clearly wrong. Anyway. So they rewrote Jesus' character to be heroic and intelligent and strong and Aryan. He had to be Aryan from a lineage that originated in the Germanic region. So they rewrote it to be a story where Jesus was an Aryan fighting against the Jews. And they removed a whole bunch of stuff from Paul's writings. They said they called him Rabbi Paul because he very heavily modified Christianity and kind of guided it down a path that the Nazis argued, and actually I would agree with, did not really represent what Jesus intended or what he was trying to create or whatever. Paul went his own way with this stuff very much. So anyway, they removed a whole bunch of stuff from Paul's writings. That's what I've been writing about. I just thought it was really fascinating to bring up. Hold on, let me see. I've got other stuff here. Oh, yeah, here. Check this out. There's a big stadium called the Sports Palace, SPORTSPALASTE? No, AST. That's a German word that means sports palace. It's a large stadium that could hold 20,000 people or more. And they held events there like every Saturday night or whatever. And the German Christians, Hitler was trying to get the German Christians into a position of power. So he was basically scheduling people to go up there and give speeches about positive Christianity, effectively. One of the people he got up there was named Reinhold Krause, Krause, and he talked about the Old Testament and what it contained and why they shouldn't follow it anymore. I'm reading from parts of my chapter here, or parts of my chapter. De-Judaizing Christianity is what they were trying to do with it. Because Judaism is like integrated right into Christianity. Like, how do you separate the two? It's Christianity's origin myths, like Adam and Eve and stuff. So they were trying to find a way to remove all of that stuff from Christianity and replace it with something. They chose to replace it with their Aryan mythology, and some stuff about Odin, because he was like a Germanic god or whatever. Anyway, de-Judaizing Christianity started by scheduling special talks by Bible scholars to debate whether the Old Testament should be removed from the Bible entirely. This is from my chapter on the subject. On November 13th, 1933, a man named Reinhold Krauss gave a speech at the Berlin Sports Palace, or Sports Palace. Krauss was a local school teacher and leader of the Berlin German Christians, the Nazified denomination of Christianity. Events were held at the Sports Palace regularly. Krauss mocked the Old Testament in front of 20,000 people. He said it contained stories about cattle traders and pimps. Even without alterations, this is me speaking now in my book, even without alterations, they created an alternate interpretation in which Jesus was a heroic fighter battling against the untrustworthy Jews. Rewriting the odd word here or there and removing entire sections enabled them to align their ideology with the Bible with very few changes to the text. The German Christians' job of removing any trace of Judaism from the Bible was made simpler by the fact that many Bible beliefs are based on culture and existing beliefs rather than scripture. The concept of sin, for example, is a later creation. Anyway, I go off in a whole thing. If you want to read the book, then check it out. It's not out yet, but it'll be out pretty soon. OwenMorgan.com. Check the description, maybe in there. But anyway, super interesting subject, in my opinion. They really did a number on Christianity generally, hollowed it out and replaced it with stuff. It's fascinating. And afterward, they had to find a way to denazify it. How do you root Nazis out of that? It's a religious belief. There was a whole plan that the U.S. government had, and I'll just give you some ideas here. They asked some of the top-ranking, confessing church, like the oppositional church. They asked some of the top-ranking leaders to take over the German Christian church, and they said no. The reason that they said no is actually because they very much agreed with the German Christians on nearly everything, except for just a couple of things. There really was not much of a gap between the Nazi Christians and the normal Christians, truthfully. Anyway, the French and the British were a lot more relaxed with their denazification efforts. The U.S. is more strict. The U.S. finally allowed the church to denazify on its own as long as it was well documented. So basically, you got a quota. You got to turn it in and explain to us who you removed and why. So they start removing and demoting people that had some kind of connection to the Nazi movement or that believed in this German Christian stuff or whatever, and they would demote them into positions of hospital chaplain or tiny little backwoods churches or whatever. Unfortunately, that was displacing women who had to take those roles on for themselves because all of the men had gone to war. So women were finally being ordained for the first time in German history and were leading churches in religious services and everything. And they were replaced. They were removed from the church leadership positions when the Reich church members started being replaced. Really sad. Anyway, Catholics and Protestants both asked the government to stop dismissing Nazi party members because it meant removing experts from their positions. The EKD, which is it means the Evangelische Kirche Deutschland, EKD. It means the Evangelical Church of Germany. The EKD governing council argued people shouldn't be charged for doing things that weren't illegal, but Nazi law allowed a lot of terrible stuff. So there is a ton of, the confessing church, the opposition to Hitler, it took over after Hitler was gone. But it was just as depraved as the German Christians in a lot of ways, obviously. And they wanted to keep people in those positions if they could. Also, there's something called, what is it, Perselschein, I think. There was a way for Nazis to keep their positions, not be demoted or kicked out or whatever, go to jail. And the way to do so was to get something called a Perselschein, I believe is what it was. Persil was the brand of laundry detergent, and a Persilshine was a letter basically scrubbing their record clean. A letter from the victims of Nazi atrocities. They had to get a letter from somebody who was victimized by it and turn it in to the Allies, or they would lose their position, basically. Some churches set up a kind of like an industry where they were pumping out these Persilshine letters over and over again for just anybody that wanted them, but that was super uncommon. And they could only do that so much because it became obvious after a very short time what was happening. The Allied denazification program was finished by the fall of 1948, and it was widely seen as an utter failure. Surprisingly, I think Germany's done a great job of denazifying up to now. They, free of Nazis, as far as I can tell, for the most part. Of the 3.6 million Germans summoned before the Spruchhammer, which I haven't done enough research on yet to speak about, only 1,667 were removed permanently from public office. 23,000 were conditionally removed and eventually reinstated. And 1.1 million, although party members, were exonerated as having been low-ranking or provisional members. Acquitted altogether were 1.2 million. Some of the latter had actually resisted. Others benefited from the Persilshine. Yeah, that's what it is. Persilschein, Persilshine. Proceedings were dropped against 1.2 million Germans, for example, against miners and German soldiers returning from the front. They had heresy hearings, too. Anyway, it's super fascinating stuff. I got like a whole page of notes on this. If you guys want to read the book, check it out. OwenMorgan.com. Check the description. Not sure if it's out yet, but keep a lookout on Amazon. Anyway, let me know what you think about it. Next up, I got my hands on a full episode of Janet Porter's new MAGA sitcom. Let's watch the whole thing. I already glanced through it, and it is so entertaining. We'll be right back. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. Also, take a look at my website, owenmorgan.com. I'm selling my book, Understanding Jehovah's Witnesses, 400 pages, and my second book, 100 Questions for Jehovah's Witnesses, which is about 80 pages. And you can find them both there on the website. Audio form, ebook form, whatever. It's about my experiences within the religion and the history of the religion generally.
What's that? Hey there, excuse me. Do you think we could maybe get a few more of those Trump?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Here, just take the bundle.
Oh, thank you so much.
Where we go one?
We go all.
What? Now that's what I'm talking about.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hank, I'm telling you, that's the kind of girl you need.
Oh.
This is Janet Porter. I talked about her sitcom, her MAGA sitcom recently, but I got my hands on a full episode, and it is, like, I don't even know what word to use for it. It's just insane. So I want to watch just a little bit of it. If you're unfamiliar, it's called What's a Girl to Do? Oh my God, it's so cringy and terrible. It's actually on live TV, like airing live in real time on the PTL network. It's some Christian network on DirecTV or something. I don't know.
What's a girl to do when I'm alone and feeling blue? Crying in my pillow doesn't get me.
Oh my God, bro. It's so bad. I'm sorry. I can't play the whole song for copyright reasons, but this is bad. Oh, quick note. I'm sorry, before we start. If anybody knows where I can get this whole thing, I'd appreciate it if you let me know. Just in like my live chats or tweet it at me or something. I've had so much trouble finding full episodes. It's ridiculous. Oh, yeah. And this guy who just walked in with the beard, he's supposed to be like the mean ex-boyfriend or something. And the guy on the right here, he's supposed to be the idiot liberal who doesn't care about babies or guns or Jesus or some other shit. She's trying to date him. All right, so let's jump to the beginning. It's like a bad Friends parody, right? Like they're even in front of a fountain. Really?
We need to print voter guides for the election.
Oh, there's simply no room in the budget for that this year.
No room in the budget? Now we're going to need to cut somewhere else.
I'm not sure what she's supposed to do as a job. Voter guides? They're going to produce voter guides?
Because if we don't win this election, we can forget about everything we care about.
Yeah, well, then it can come out of your salary.
Whoa. If Michael and I were not subsidizing her meal plan, this poor girl would go hungry.
Wow, dude. If we weren't buying her lunch every day, then she'd go hungry. Okay.
Take it out of your salary.
I can't even afford to feed my cat.
You got a cat?
No, I don't make enough, Joe.
That's funny. I'll give him that one. That's good. I like that.
Sorry. I'm allergic.
Why can't we just send everybody to ivoterguide.com and our mailing list?
But what about all the people in America that aren't on our mailing list?
Well, then you're free to tell them all.
I do have a burden for the people of Hawaii, specifically beachgoers.
Joe,
Okay, that was not funny. That was stupid.
can you please ask Lori to join us for the next part of this meeting?
Lori, can you join us for the next part of this meeting?
That's funny. This is her friend, I believe, on the show, and she's like also a complete right-wing nutcase.
Yes. Clark wanted you to be here because this affects all of us. We will offer the vaccination as part of our healthcare plan.
I'm not taking a vaccine.
Me neither.
Okay, did anybody ask you to take the vaccine? They said they're making it available on your healthcare plan. Why is she taking this as an opportunity to, like, preach about her ridiculous nonsense? It should be available to people if they want it, right? She's arguing no because she doesn't want it and nobody should have it.
Either. You guys, why would we get vaccinated for a virus that has like a 99% survival rate?
Oh my God, dude. All of the nonsense. I'm sorry. I have to debunk this stuff as we go for YouTube reasons. I don't think it's 99% survival rate, but even if it is, you know how many people die if 350 million people get it? Let's find out. 350 million times 0.01. No. Yeah, that's it. 3.5 million people, okay? This is real. Millions will die if you aren't careful, if you don't just get the vaccine. God, these people.
Our healthcare plan should be covering things like ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine.
Why? What did they do? Are you serious? Oh my God, it's so bad.
That's like a 99% survival rate.
Our healthcare plan should be covering things like ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine because they actually work.
Exactly.
Work to do what? I'm not sure about hydroxychloroquine, but ivermectin at the very least is not an antiviral medicine. It's an antiparasitic medicine. It's fantastic for that. It's not going to do jack for a virus. And everybody knew that. You were the only poor fool standing around thinking it was. You and the other, like, MAGA nutcases.
What about you, Jeff?
I identify as someone who's been fully vaccinated.
This is so cringy.
What if it's required?
Wait, why is it required? They said they just want to add it to the health plan. And who's going to require it, honestly?
Then I'll quit.
Me too.
Yeah, they'll quit.
Joe, what do you think?
I think it violates human rights and religious liberties.
What religious liberties? Where in the Bible does it say a word about not getting vaccinated? It doesn't. Jehovah's Witnesses might have an honest claim to, like, religious liberties if they were mandating, like, blood transfusions or something. But I've literally not heard a single peep before COVID from, you know, the evangelical movement about how much they hate vaccines and how it's a religious mandate that the Bible says no vaccines and all that until this massive wave of anti-vax nonsense started. It's not a religious liberties thing. Legally, I don't think you can argue against religious liberties, though. So, and human rights? Like what? To make a vaccine available is against human rights? You don't have to take it. And even if they did mandate it at this company, you don't have to work there.
Human rights and religious liberties.
I think we have our answer on that.
Well, I think we need to discuss requiring masks in the office.
That'd be better for all of us.
Yeah, like, why do you even care if masks are required? I don't understand. That hurts literally nobody, and it might help some people. What is the downside? Are you just trying to be a shithead just for the sake of being a shithead? Is that it?
Cover her scowl.
What do you think, Joe?
I'm sorry, let me reverse and listen to what he's whispering here.
That'd be better for all of us. Cover her scowl.
It'd be better for all of us. It'd cover her something. I'm assuming he's talking about her breath.
What do you think, Joe?
I think that makes as much sense as putting up a chain link fence to keep mosquitoes out.
I think we need to give people the option. That'll be our answer on that, Gail.
Why don't we talk about something non-controversial like abortion?
That's not funny.
Clark, I thought we agreed on this.
Gail, you're right.
But why are they laughing? I don't understand. And what did they agree on? I'm not sure what's happening here. They're not being clear.
Clark, I thought we agreed on this.
Gail, you're right. I'm sorry, but just because you and I got vaccinated doesn't mean that we can force it on anyone else.
Like, you're not forcing it on anybody. You're not putting a gun in their face and saying, get vaccinated. Are you kidding me?
Joe, I was blindsided. I mean, I didn't know how you felt about all this.
Well, you didn't ask me.
Do you think I'm wrong?
Just because you got jabbed once doesn't mean you let them jab you again.
Oh my God, dude, he's a terrible actor. So now it's not about giving the company, like giving the people of the company access to a vaccine, paying for it if they want it. Now it is turned into you should not be getting vaccinated, actively not getting vaccinated. How did it flip to that?
Do you think I'm wrong?
Just because you got jabbed once doesn't mean you let them jab you again.
Why is that funny?
What's a girl to do?
Gail is out of control.
She's not the only one.
What now?
HOA give you another ticket.
For what?
Your Trump yard sign. Well, no, technically it is a warning.
Okay, the HOA, the homeowners association in her area, told her she can't have like yard signs out there. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of HOAs suck, but you have to be a member to be part of the neighborhood. That's just how it works. Unfortunately, you don't have to buy a house there. I wish we could kind of heavily reform HOAs, but it is what it is. And HOAs are not like, by and large, I would say, they're not picking on specific political candidates. The problem is yard signs. You also can't paint your house unapproved colors and, I don't know, put up fences without prior approval and stuff. There's all kinds of stuff that you can't do if you're part of an HOA. That's just the deal.
However, a $50 fine will follow if sign is not removed.
So every other sign that's all the way down the street, they're fine.
No, signs are not fine. Like, this is the problem with this whole thing, okay? The scenarios that these people portray are 100% legit. I absolutely agree with the people on screen in every single scenario. For example, if they were specifically singling out Trump supporters and banning them from having yard signs, I'd have a problem with that. Ban all yard signs or don't ban them at all. If they were specifically ordering employees to get vaccinated and that was every single company in the United States or some other thing, I guess I can feasibly see a situation in which I would have a problem with that. You know, if a professor at a college is trying to force the students to sign a paper that says God is dead or whatever, or they fail the class, I'd have a problem with that. The issue is that these things are not happening anywhere except in their heads. They have to lie to produce these ridiculous, nonsensical stories that are not happening to get anyone on their side. Because they know if anybody understood what was actually happening, nobody would be on their side.
But my Trump sign is illegal?
And Karen's hideous Halloween decorations all over her garage are apparently allowed.
You know, Jeff, she's on the HOA board.
Yeah, like Halloween decorations are not the same as yard signs, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
She must know that garage decorations are permitted. That's good to know.
Okay, was she planning on like turning her house into like MAGA world or something? Hold on. I got a clip I gotta show you guys. Let me see if I can find it. It's been forever since I pulled this up. I'm gonna guess that this is what she intends to do right here.
I'm sorry that it's so herky-jerky with my camera at times, but wait till the end. Wait till you see the mailbox. This is a house in St. James, Long Island. I was so shocked.
Do you guys remember this? From, I don't know, this is from 2021, mid-May 2021.
A sign that said
That's nuts.
Camera, so I hope they saw me, and I hope they have no shame, so I don't think they'd mind being all over TikTok. But this should be sent to cult deprogrammers and somebody else that might be able to intervene and help these people, because
Look at this, dude. This isn't like a Halloween decoration. This is mid-May, okay? There is no holiday happening. And it wasn't even, there was no election happening either, for that matter. It was just like an average day. Oh my God, people.
Because the inhabitants of this home are very, very mentally unwell. This is not the sign of a mentally stable human being.
Okay, anyway, I'm guessing that that's what she's thinking she's going to do, right? To get back at the HOA? Sick beat.
Hey.
Oh, this is the boyfriend, and he's such a stupid liberal loser, right?
Hey there. Oh, hello, Jeff. Of course you're here.
Oh, he doesn't like Jeff.
We've got bigger problems than that. Oh, I think the word you were looking for is blessing. Benefit. How can we be so fortunate that Jeff is here to impart his wisdom and insight? Yeah, something like that.
Wow, so he's just going to be like a complete head to this guy. Okay. I mean, that's one way to interact with humans in your vicinity, I suppose. Not the way I'd choose, but it is a way.
Michael, we've got to save the Republic. I've got a plan.
Got to save the Republic.
Of course you do. Now, it's a bit old school, but if we canvass the church parking lots with voter guides, by the time they come to their cars, they'll know who to vote for.
The church parking lots with voter guides. So that's interesting. So churches are legally barred from endorsing or opposing candidates or campaigns for office. They can do that, but if they do, they have to pay their taxes. That's just how it works. That's part of the deal. So she's found a way around it where she can leech off of society while not providing a tangible, like, good for society, which is why nonprofits exist in the first place, and also not losing tax-exempt status for the church. Genius. Okay, go on.
I don't think that's... Come on, Michael. Don't you want to make America great again? I'm what you call apolitical. That's like being neutered, right?
Why is that funny? He's just being a head once again. I'm apolitical. That's like being neutered. What? There wasn't even wordplay there. I thought there'd be like wordplay or anything.
Well, don't tell me you're a Trump fan. I like the guy. Well, I don't like what he said about... Watch what he's done. Actions are what matter.
You mean sleep with a porn star behind his wife's back? Are we talking about that? Committing fraud? Defrauding a whole bunch of people? Lying about all kinds of shit, like the value of his assets and everything else? When it's convenient, claiming that it's worth way less than it is, and when it's not, claiming it's worth way more than it is? That kind of thing? Yeah, that's the thing. I have a problem with his actions. Inspiring an insurrection against the U.S. government? Go on.
He's pro-life? Well, that's great, but that's just a single issue.
Okay, I don't believe he's pro-life, but whatever.
Yes. The right to life is a priority issue. It's a prerequisite issue.
But right to life? What are we talking about now? I thought we were talking about abortion. That's not a right to life issue because, God, I'm not even going to bother going down this road, but it's a clump of cells up to a certain point. Aside from that, I don't think Trump is pro-life in that I don't think Trump is pro-anything except for pro-Trump. That's it. He was pro-abortion for his whole life until the age of like 63 or something, when he suddenly flipped on a dime because that was the position that the Republican Party held, basically. I also think he's an atheist, for what it's worth, and I think he's expertly suckering these people out of everything that they own. But okay, go on.
It's what makes every other right possible. What good is the best education or free health care if you're dead? She has a point.
Okay, but God, there's so much wrong with this. I don't even know where to start. Whatever. We'll keep going.
She has a point. Well, don't you think he brags a bit too much? She's got a lot to brag about.
Are you kidding me? What is all of this about pride is a sin in the Bible? Remember that? Remember these people screaming at the top of their lungs like a banshee that Pride Month is evil because you have pride in something and the Bible says no pride? Blah, blah, blah. What happened to all that? It's only there when it's convenient. They just forget about it when it's not.
Look, I stay out of politics, all right? I don't even think I'm registered to vote. To stay out of politics is to let the Marxists control your life.
It's literally not. It is literally living your life without anything, like any religious, political nonsense weighing you down, first of all. Second, there are no Marxists in the United States, okay? Certainly none in a position of power. I guess there are some communists and things, and, you know, I've read some of the literature from Karl Marx. I don't agree with communism. I'm not a communist, but I guess I would be identified as one of those Marxists in her head, right?
Your health, our country. How can you date a guy that doesn't even vote? Look.
What? Why are they laughing? You hearing this?
Look. Trump is for liberty. He's for Israel. He's for the Second Amendment. They want to take your guns. I don't have any guns. How can you date a guy that doesn't even own a gun? Well.
Why the laughs? I don't understand.
Well, as much as I'm enjoying this lovely little conversation, I'm gonna look. Come with us Saturday night. We'll get things out. We'll influence a lot of votes. I don't think so. At least read it. Just read it.
Like, why is he even dating her?
Good night.
Good night.
Dude, there's something very satisfying about how he snaps that paper. I don't know what it is.
Good night.
Good night.
How can you date a guy that doesn't even want to make America great?
Why the laughs again?
I don't know.
Okay, so they've met in the parking lot.
Saturday night services are best. You can work with the cover of darkness. Lori, go left. Got it. Jeff, take the middle. I'll go right.
Okay. Wait, where's her boyfriend? I thought her boyfriend was going to come in and help spread these voter guides or whatever. No, I guess he said he wasn't. Right? Okay. I mean, it's a church parking lot, bro. Like, it just. Why are they doing this?
Right. Okay, hands in. Where we go, one.
Oh my God, dude. A QAnon shout out. Oh, that is fantastic. Where we go one, we go all. WWG1WGA, I believe is what it is. And QAnoners sign their stuff like that. It's some stupid phrase from an old movie from like the 90s or something. And it's like nonsensical. Like, what does that mean? If you're saying we'll defend each other to the death, why not just say that? Anyway, it is exclusively a QAnon phrase. It is not used outside of QAnon ever. I've never seen it used outside of it. So, okay. They're shouting out to QAnon in this stupid Friends ripoff sitcom.
Where we go, one. Wake up, people. We go.
You mean sheeple.
We go all. You know, JFK.
Okay, JFK, where did that come from? Is she one of those people that thinks that, like, JFK is still alive and going to run with Donald Trump or some other thing? Oh, my God.
I prefer to quote Ronald Reagan. Okay. Evil is powerless if the good are unafraid.
I slap the...
Okay, that's just not true, but all right, whatever.
Slap the face of danger. Jeffrey Krepchik.
I don't know who that is.
Bet Jack Lauer never did this. You think it's hot, don't you? Your non-answer is answer enough for me.
Bro, this is so cringy. Oh my God, this is so bad. And look, he's got rolled up voter guides in his vest or whatever the hell. Because it's, I don't know, like, so it's supposed to look like ammo or something? I don't know. Oh, this is bad.
Me. Move out.
Okay, you can do this in broad daylight. I was a Jehovah's Witness for like 20 years, and you can just like walk up to a car and stick something in the handle if you want. No one is going to like take you to jail for that. Why is she doing this? Is she like convinced in her head that it's illegal to put flyers on people's cars? What a perpetual victim. Why would she stick it there? Did she just put her hands on that dude's car? These people are crawling all over people's cars. This is illegal right here, I think. I thought for sure they're going to run into each other and yell or something.
They got her! They got her! We've got to help her. No, you stupid! I don't want to get caught!
Okay, this guy is actually kind of funny. I don't know why they're writing good lines for him, but Janet Porter has no expression on her face. This coming from somebody who has no expression 90% of the time.
What, they're frisking her? This isn't a friskable offense. You're supposed to ask her to leave. Go. No. No.
Yeah, that's right. It's not a friskable offense. That's true. And he's not allowed to. In fact, he could get in a ton of trouble. He's just a security guard. He has no right to do this to anybody. No, wait, is that a police officer? Wait, it says police on his arm. So, okay, he does have the right to frisk people, I suppose. But yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Clark's on the warpath. He wants to see the two of you first thing.
About what?
About the incident at the church. Now, listen.
Wait, so where do they work? Are they supposed to like work at a church or
someone that has been around the block? Just go in there and tell him you're sorry, that it will not happen again, and he'll cool off.
Yeah, except that I'm not sorry. Not even a little bit.
Oh my God, she's such an obnoxious fool. She can't just be a normal human being.
And it will absolutely happen again.
Yeah, it's been nice working with you.
I'm sorry.
Like, why would a job care about what they were doing at a church or whatever? That would have nothing to do with their jobs. Unless it's the church that they work at, in which case they have healthcare plans at a church and they're trying to force people at a church to have vaccines?
So, you want to tell me what happened on Saturday?
Shouldn't Lori be in here as well? I mean, she was a ringleader in this infraction.
Wow, what a D-bag. Thrown his friend under the bus.
Your senior staff. Someone has to answer the phone. Let's start with you, Jeff.
Well, as you know, I am relatively new here, so I was relying on the wisdom and the expertise of the senior staff.
No, he's blaming everybody but himself.
I just want to say how deeply sorry I am that I allowed Janet to lead me in this unfortunate endeavor. But I do want to thank you, Clark, for your leadership, because it's because of you that I now know what not to do.
Can he get any further up this dude's...
I truly walk away a better person because of it.
He has a point. Jan, I expect more from you. Gail already told you there's no money in the budget for this.
Which is why I printed them myself on my own time with my own money.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. Legally speaking, they wouldn't even have this conversation with her. Again, I don't know what job she has or whatever. This is on personal time that she's doing this.
That is not the point. Church lots are private property.
And when we were asked to leave, we left. And a whole lot of people got to find out where the candidates stand.
Janet.
Oh, okay. I understand now. I thought it was like her church and she was working at it or some other thing. No, she wasn't even invited to the church. She wasn't. Did she even go to the church? I don't know. Putting her hands all over people's cars and stuff. So that makes sense. Yeah. So she violated the law and took people's rights away, their right to private property and safety and security, to further her own goals, is basically what happened. I still don't know that a job should care about that. That's something that the police should work out. But yeah, I think if I were like a police officer or a judge or something, if I were a judge, I would order them to like go remove the things that they put in there as punishment.
Is it better to obey God or a man?
Oh, please.
Let me see what you handed out.
It doesn't matter what she handed out. What does that have to do with anything?
Janet, this is just educational material.
I know.
It doesn't say who to vote for, it's only where the candidates stand.
I know.
So.
Okay, well, you still like violated people's, private property or whatever. You showed up there against their wishes without an invite.
Yes. You can obey God and man, and you can pass this out inside the churches if you get their permission. In fact, you get their permission, you can register their members to vote.
Can you do that and still be like within the bounds of nonprofit territory? I'm not sure. I think maybe so. Wow, man. They're walking right up to the line, aren't they? And crossing it as often as possible.
Inside the church.
So we didn't have to lurk around in the dark, dodging cops and bullets?
There were no bullets.
You can head back to work.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Why would he do that? I don't understand. That is weird, right? Dude's sniffing this guy. Why did they even put this? This woman on the left is the one that decided to put that in. She's like the producer or whatever. Why? That is some disturbing right there.
Well, thanks a lot, Jeff. Way to throw us both under the bus. Unbelievable.
I told you what to do.
I followed your advice. Now, I ad-libbed the blaming others part just a bit. It just felt right.
Okay, he is a funny character.
Jan, I think we can work harder to let churches know they can.
Yeah. Haunted Shadows Legacy points out, I can't break into someone's house and teach them the Pythagorean theorem and not go to jail. Educational isn't a good excuse. Right. 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. They're just like making excuses for breaking the law. And by the way, Janet Porter is a lawyer. She wrote the heartbeat bill. She's a lawyer. She knows this stuff.
Just know they can pass out information and register their people in their own church. So you don't have to lurk around in the shadows.
Thanks, Clark. I'll try to keep the lurking to a minimum.
Really glad you're on our side.
Thanks, Clark.
My God. This is like it's silent. There's no sound in the background. There are big long gaps of empty space where no one is talking or anything. This is a piss poor sitcom. It's like it's made by people who have literally never worked in the industry or something. It must be.
We still doing lunch?
Nope. Don't want to run the risk of negatively influencing you.
Don't worry. I've learned my lesson.
Your negative actions will no longer affect me.
If anyone calls, let them know I'll be on a long lunch with Michael.
Long.
Very long.
Nice. Enjoy.
Whoa, wait a minute. Is she implying that they're going to be, Netflix and chilling, if you will? A very long lunch with her boyfriend. Okay, cool. Are you married? If you're not married, then this is against your rules, isn't it?
Enjoy.
Navigating through investment options.
Oh my God, an advertisement in the middle of it. Okay, interesting. Yeah, let's just jump ahead. I'm not letting them advertise to my channel. Timothy plan. Investing with biblical principles, it says. Oh my God. God, these people live in like a dome. They live in a world where nothing can pierce through. Their investment and retirement plans are evangelical based. Their jobs are all evangelical based. Every bit of media that they consume, pure flicks, it's all evangelical, pro-Trump nonsense. The news and everything. Jesus Christ. You can register people to vote at a church. I've been part of a registration drive at a Unitarian Universalist church. They can also give out info about the candidates. They just can't endorse one. Okay, there you go. Knowing is half the battle, as G.I. Joe says. Oh my God, dude. It's so bad.
Excuse me, you're not wearing a mask. Neither are you. Oh, we're seated. Oh, that's right. You can only...
Has this literally ever happened to a single human being in the history of humanity? Someone is just walking into a restaurant to sit down and eat, and they don't have a mask on, and some rando freaks out and starts yelling at them about not having a mask when they're not wearing one. Really? I'm telling you, their complaints are fictitious. If they were, like, really happening, I'd have a problem with it. They're not. Jesus, dude.
That's right. You can only catch COVID standing up. Would you please put on your mask? I have a child here. I'm seated too. You can't catch it now. It's science. You're not wearing a mask either.
Why is he dressed up like Waldo of Where's Waldo?
That's because I'm drinking.
You're not seated, Kate. Have a seat.
Literally, nobody has ever said this. Ever.
I am now.
You're not wearing a mask either. Who are you people? Oh, you don't need that. Come have a seat where you can.
Look, the other one has a face shield and everything. Do you see that? Look at this. Face shield, mask, the whole 9 yards. By the way, this is done recently. In the past year, I believe, this is produced. Where is this happening?
People. Oh, you don't need that. Come have a seat where you can't catch COVID.
Excuse me. It's still warm.
Yes, I'm sure it is. Thank you. What was that all about?
Little contest between freedom and tyranny.
It's tyranny to be polite enough to wear a mask? That's tyrannical? Do you know what the word means? Tyrannical?
You see, the final COVID variant is called communism.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
Do you have to make everything into a cause?
You know, some things are worth fighting for, and freedom is one of them.
Oh my God, what the last variant is communism. What does that even mean? This is nuts.
So that's why I got you a voter registration form.
Wow, of course you did. Free bread? It's still warm. You can say that.
You need to social distance now.
Nobody ever said this.
That's not 6 feet.
You know, all anybody was ever asking was for people to not be heads. That's it. Just don't be an intentional scumbag who's trying to make people's lives miserable just by being in their presence. That's it. That's all anybody ever wanted. Don't be a piece of trash. And they're flipping this around to make it out like everybody else is the piece of trash. Oh my God. You know, I tried to stay 6 feet away and I tried to wear a mask, but sometimes I couldn't for one reason or another, you know? Sometimes my mask got really uncomfortable and I pulled it off or I pulled it down or whatever. And nobody cared. It wasn't a big deal. You're trying. That's what matters. You're just trying to make things safer for everybody. Oh my God.
It's going to be reflected in your review, okay?
Oh.
Can I see your phone for a second?
Why?
Gotta make up for the reviews the mask police are leaving. Come on, let's go. You don't even own a mask, do you? Do you know what mandate means? Do you know what the Constitution means? You're probably not even vaccinated.
Okay, you need to.
Oh my God, dude. This is insane. I don't remember there ever being a mask mandate. Some companies chose to institute a mask mandate in their little establishments. So you could eat outside on their little patio, or you could take your food to go, or you could wear a mask. And honestly, who was even wearing a mask in a restaurant? Like they, walk to their table, sit down, and take it off. This is like not an issue that existed to any degree in society. Like nobody cared.
Back off, my girlfriend.
Okay, and you need to obey, both of you.
You need to obey.
All right, I am going to call and report you to someone. Come on.
Yeah, who? You're not going to report him to anybody because there is nobody. Like nobody was mandating this. Who's she going to get in trouble with? I mean, this is just drawing out the problem right here.
Thank you. Good night.
All right, just go. I mean it.
By the way, she's not 6 feet away, right?
Are you ready, beautiful?
I am.
What do you say we go and violate some social distancing mandates together? Huh?
I thought you'd never ask.
Oh my God, dude. Are they dating or are they married? She's not supposed to do this. Also, again, they're trying to portray the other people as being colossal scumbags when it is these people who are being the scumbags. Oh my God.
Oh, wait a sec. I forgot something.
What did he leave the mask and take? What did he take? I don't know what that was.
Oh, wait a sec. I forgot something.
Oh, he's just leaving the mask. Okay. So they're chronicling this apolitical normal guy's descent into absolute madness, basically, is what's happening, right?
Hey, Laura, give Antonio's a 5-star rating, will you?
Okay, why?
I'll tell you later.
Not another campaign. Seriously, you are out of control. You almost got us fired this morning.
Yeah, so she's aptly pointing out that nobody in her life likes her because she can't just be a normal human being. My literal job is talking about politics, okay? I keep up with the news like nobody's business. And I don't do this. When I'm around normal human beings, I don't just talk about the news 24/7. I have normal conversation. And nothing is a campaign with me. I'm not asking you to do anything like rate restaurants or covertly cram my stupid literature down people's throats. I'm not doing that. She can't be a normal person.
Nobody's getting fired. But then again, the day's not over yet. How about we get some work done?
I'm still not sure where they work.
What did I tell you about being a negative influence?
Sounds like
Great.
Hey. You heard the boss. All right?
We're also going to dinner.
Whoa. Enough with the chatter. Okay, seriously, I don't know now, Clark. What's up with all of this?
that's Chelsea one day.
I know.
Nice.
So, I'm just not sure what the point of all that was. Okay, go on.
I don't know why he always insists on bringing her.
Look who's here.
Hi.
Hello there.
Hello.
Got a little something for you?
What's this?
Just a little gift. Thank you.
Yes. True to life.
Oh, for a second, I thought it was Mein Kampf. Okay.
She wrote it.
Really?
Wow. An author. When did you write it?
So I think this is her boyfriend's parents, if I remember correctly.
A few years ago. Oh, you were it then.
What was that?
You were it then.
You were thin? Is that what she said? Oh, you were thin? Wow. Yeah. Total thing to say. But you know what? That's in-laws. Sometimes they're absolutely insufferable. Lucky for me, mine are not. But yeah, some are just like that.
You were then.
There's my girl.
Hey there.
And how are the Millers doing this evening?
Hank, I'm meaning to ask you to hit the link sometime.
Oh, you played? Well, I've got something better. Who wants tickets to the Trump rally Saturday?
Ugh, God.
You.
They're trying to make his parents, like, super hateable, right?
Well, I knew you the smart. How about you, little Mike?
My parents are having a little...
Oh, come on, son. This is the future of America we're talking about.
I certainly hope not.
Well, I see you've got our girl's book there.
Uh-huh.
We won it in auction.
Really?
Have you read it?
I'll let him have it as soon as I'm finished. It's incredible. Thank you.
I can't get it away from her. I think I may just have to wait for the movie. But the picture on the cover is almost as pretty as the author.
Thank you, Hank. Well, good to see you all. Good.
Okay, I don't know who Hank is, but they seem to be, like, super nice people, basically. Like, all of the Trump supporters in this are really kind, considerate, honest, nice people. And everybody else is just, like, a vile scumbag. Like, and everybody to the left of hunting the homeless for sport is a vile scumbag, apparently, in their mind.
Good night.
Janet, I was hoping you would join the family at the house on Saturday. She's invited, right, Mother?
Whatever you'd like, dear.
Yes, we've been meaning to ask you to come out to the house.
Great.
You don't want to go to the rally?
Oh, my God.
Rallies, they really aren't my thing.
Well, then perhaps I can...
They're acting like it's a sports team. Like the dude says, who wants to go to the rally on Saturday? I got 2 tickets. Why is he giving out tickets to, like, a political event? Like, what? It's not the Braves or whatever.
I can come to the house another time. Thank you so much, though. I'm just going to see if I can get some more tickets for the office, if you'll excuse me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, excuse me 1 second.
Wow, she is ditching her boyfriend and her boyfriend's parents, a meeting with them, a dinner with them, to go get tickets to a Trump rally.
What's that? Be there. Excuse me. Do you think we could maybe get a few more of those Trump?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Here, just take the bundle.
What? Dude has a bundle of tickets?
Thank you so much.
Where we go one?
We go all.
Oh my God, they are QAnoners. Oh, dude, this is crazy.
Woo! Now that's what I'm talking about.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hank, I'm telling you, that's the kind of girl you need.
Now they're gonna get, like, connected to each other, right? And look, you can tell he's attractive because he's got a humongous heckin' belt buckle here. And he's a good Christian man.
We'll refill your prescription tomorrow.
Oh, stop. Just eat your cake. Quite a commotion over there.
Well, parents usually like me.
Yeah, you just, what's the commotion? You're just having a conversation with somebody? That's a commotion?
Is that so?
I think I will go to that rally with you after all.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't get tickets for us, dear. I did not, but I can if you'd like. Oh, no. That won't be necessary. Okay.
What? She literally got the whole bundle of tickets. What do you mean? This is so poorly written.
My first rally.
It's going to be a blast.
Oh my God, she just sits around wearing, like, American flag shirts and socks. Dude, what's his shirt say? Hold on, let's see. A man who does not think for himself will... I can't make it out. Will... I'm sure this is a saying I could probably look up. I can't make it out. It's certainly something really stupid.
Sure you want to set foot in here? Wouldn't want you to jeopardize your career.
It is hazardous to be seen with you.
I'm willing to risk it. You're welcome. I think you should go hang out with your new friends, Gail and Joe. Perhaps you can go wash Clark's car for him.
You like politics, so perhaps I can teach you a thing or two about inter-office politics.
Or perhaps I could teach you a thing or two about growing a backbone.
Okay, so he says, maybe I could teach you not to be a colossal fucking scumbag everywhere that you go. And she says, maybe I could teach you to grow a backbone. Wow.
Till then, I'm not interested.
Like, I'm not even sure who this character is. Why are they alone in a room together? Isn't that, like, forbidden if you're not married? Is it her brother or something?
Oh, yeah? Well, maybe you would be interested to know that they took your Trump sign. And you owe the HOA $50.
Okay. They want to play? Let's play. You still have those spotlights I saw in your garage?
Spotlights are definitely against the HOA rules, right?
Yes, I do. But I can't reach them without a backbone.
That's okay. I'll get him.
Dude, I really like his character. He's really funny. This show's awful. Who would think QAnoners would be so devoid of personality, right? Exactly. Oh my God.
Okay. I'll get him for you.
I'll help you, little lady. There you go.
Stop it.
Dude, what are they, siblings?
I think I felt some cartilage in there. You growing a backbone, are you, Crutchjack?
Guess I'm a fast learner.
Yeah, you're gonna need to be. Give me another magnet, will you?
Yeah. What, you couldn't find a bigger one?
It's all I had. Short notice.
Well, maybe you need a bigger garage. Maybe. Last one.
Wait, did they cut something out of that scene? He was about to say something else, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, he was. What the hell?
Garage. Maybe. Last one. There we go.
It needs something more.
Sometimes less is more.
Yes, it needs less of literally everything.
Who says that?
Oh my God, the hilarious kitschy. She turns around confused. Isn't that funny, guys? And then the laugh track. Who was she looking at just now when she turned around?
Hello, I'm Dr. Steve Hotze.
Okay, now we're jumping forward. Health and Wellness Center International, right. Okay, yeah, so let's continue it here. See, 23, hold on, let me see how far we've got, because I don't know, it's long, but it's so entertaining. I don't know, maybe we don't have time to finish it. No, we don't, unfortunately. All right. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you think about it in the comments. I guess somebody walks up and, like, is upset. What the hell was that? She's like grinding her teeth and like pulling out a phone to snap a picture. Oh my God, dude. Oh man. Tell me what you think in the comments. This is crazy. By the way, if you want to see more, I'll be watching these episodes and other stuff on my Unfiltered channel, Owen Morgan Unfiltered, 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. I upload it later, cleaned up and edited and all of that if you miss it. Next up, Laura Loomer and Donald Trump are really close. Like, too close. Marjorie Taylor Greene noticed and is not happy about it. I'm assuming she wants to be the one in Trump's embrace. I don't know why else she'd care. We'll be right back. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. Also, take a look at my website, owenmorgan.com. I'm selling my book, Understanding Jehovah's Witnesses, 400 pages, and my second book, 100 Questions for Jehovah's Witnesses, which is about 80 pages. And you can find them both there on the website. Audio form, ebook form, whatever. It's about my experiences within the religion and the history of the religion generally.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Republican colleagues or your allies who are concerned about your close relationship with Laura Loomer?
Well, I don't know what they would say. Laura's been a supporter of mine, just like a lot of people are supporters, and she's been a supporter of mine. She speaks very positively of the campaign. I'm not sure why you asked that question, but Laura is a supporter. I don't control Laura. Laura has to say what she wants. She's a free spirit. Well, I don't know. I mean, look, I can't tell Laura what to do. Laura's a supporter. I have a lot of supporters. So I don't know what exactly you're referring to. It's okay.
I think Trump has a girlfriend, a new girlfriend that is not Melania.
She's actually.
That's my software. That's this Trump 2024.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Okay, so here's my reasoning, all right? You're not really that close to somebody unless you're, doing stuff, right? Here's my other piece of evidence right here. This is awfully close, isn't it? There's something going on here. You can't tell me it's not. And I understand Marjorie Taylor Greene is kind of upset that she doesn't get, like, boob against chest time. Anyway, if you don't know Laura Loomer, she is an absolutely terrible person. Let me just show you some of the things that she's said historically and recently. Check this out. This is a tweet where she says, "Greetings from Africa." There's a whole bunch of black people behind her. Says, "Joking, this is New York City." What a colossal scumbag. She visits New York City and complains about the black people. That's who we're talking about right now. Check this one out. She, just the other day, attacked Kamala Harris with this. Listen, Kamala Harris says, "As a young girl visiting my grandparents in India, my grandfather took me on his morning walks where he would discuss the importance of fighting for equality and fighting corruption. He was a retired civil servant who'd been part of the movement to win India's independence." And Laura Loomer says, "If Kamala wins, the White House will smell like curry and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center, and the American people will only be able to convey their feedback through a customer satisfaction survey at the end of the call that nobody will understand." That is so, like, God, what's the word here? It's just low. Like, there's no reason to be a racist like this, right? Why is she doing this? The responses were interesting. Marjorie Taylor Greene does not like her. Oh my God, they hate each other, apparently. Just looking at some of the responses, that's very racist. 7,000 likes on that. How much does Russia pay you each month, Laura? It's a fair question. Hey, Laura, I don't think Russia's paying Laura Loomer anything. I think she's doing this for free. She's been doing it like this for a long time. Hey, Laura, your racism is showing, and this is one of the many reasons Trump is going to lose supporters like you. Oh my God, dude, that's just, that is just sick. And check it out. Look, X limited this tweet or whatever because of hateful conduct. Do you think that the only reason that they limited this is because, like, she got pushback from high-ranking Republicans? Why this tweet of all things when there are a billion examples of full-blown Nazis, like neo-Nazis wandering around Twitter posting Nazi shit all over the place? Why this tweet? All right, check this one out. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene's reaction to it. She quote tweeted her, Laura Loomer's terrible thing, and she says, "This is appalling and extremely racist." Wow, Marjorie Taylor Greene cares about racism now. "It does not represent who we are as Republicans or MAGA. This does not represent President Trump. This type of behavior should not be tolerated, ever. Laura Loomer should take this down." Oh my God, dude. I love watching MAGA nutcases tear each other to shreds. Kind of a hobby for me watching this happen. Marjorie Taylor Greene tweets under that. She got 18,000 likes on that, by the way. Little bit of history lesson for a few of you. Laura and I used to be friends going back to 2018. I used to defend her and support her, like in this post here. I endorsed her first run for Congress, donated to her, and fundraised for her, and then she lost. Then when she ran again against Daniel Webster, I told her to run in another district so she could win, but she refused. When I didn't endorse her, she turned on me and began attacking me and lying about me. I still advocated for her to get her former Twitter account back, now X account. Interesting. Wow. So Marjorie Taylor Greene becomes friends with a colossal scumbag and is upset when that scumbag behavior is turned back around on her. Okay. That makes sense. I'll talk about Laura Loomer's run for Congress in a second. I still advocated for her to get her former Twitter account back. Laura has lied so much about me and others like Matt Gaetz, even though we are President Trump's most loyal and fierce elected members of Congress. She breaks a few good stories here and there, but no, she doesn't. She doesn't break any stories. She has independent journalist on her, like, bio or whatever. She's not a journalist. She doesn't break any stories. She makes it up. Like, she claimed that Biden fell in Air Force One and was, like, having a medical emergency, and it was just made up. Like, that never happened. However, her attacks have no bearing on me, nor am I concerned with what she says. As a matter of fact, outside of a bubble on this platform, most regular people don't know who she is. I agree. I can agree with that. But when it comes to posts that are flat out racist, hateful, and make President Trump look bad, she needs to be responsible and delete them. Wow. Fascinating. Yeah, I actually have the clip of Laura Loomer finding out her Twitter account was banned. Oh, it's the best. You guys are really going to like this. Here we go. This might be before some of the plastic surgeries, I'm not sure, and fillers and stuff.
And called me crazy, but what are they doing? I want to know what people are actually going to do. My life is ruined. Does anybody understand how ruined my life is? I'm sick of it. I don't want to listen to people tell me that I'm a conspiracy theorist. They don't know what it's like to be me. My life is ruined, Alex.
Okay, then. Freeloomer.com. She's wearing a shirt. Oh, God, I love it. I love everything about it. It's so entertaining. Oh, man. And you know what? I talk about this every time I talk about Loomer, but there is something, like, deeply enjoyable about watching a full-blown Nazi, Hitler-supporting Nazi, cry because she lost an election.
We are losing our country because of big tech election interference. And I am pleading with the Republican Party to please start taking this issue seriously. Please.
God, I need to get a cup that says Loomer tears.
Because the American people deserve representation. And that's why I ran for Congress in 2020. It's why I ran for Congress in 2022. And it's why I'm going to keep fighting for all of you. I'm never going to...
Okay, anyway, yeah, so, God, there's something enjoyable about that. I love it to death. Anyway, let's keep reading her stupid little tweets here. You know, these tweets will actually give you a good idea of, like, what kind of person she is, right? So, Laura Loomer says, I hope anyone is successful in removing MTG from office, Republican or Democrat. DM me for free opposition research on MTG. I'll give it to any of her opponents for free. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene says what she's said is like wrong and evil, and Loomer comes at her full force, ready to lie and slander and whatever she can. She doesn't even have any information on Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm sure. I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene's even like, there's nothing she could do to lose support, right? Because her supporters are vile, base level, terrible people. Like, there is no, you can't get worse than that. Like, what could Marjorie Taylor Greene do to make a Nazi, full-blown Hitler-loving Nazi say, wow, man, that's a little far for me? Literally nothing. So, in my opinion, Laura Loomer is just making this up. I have, like, Oppo research on her, and you can just DM me and get it. She's doing this to basically slander her with no risks. She can say whatever... She can claim she has all kinds of stuff and not say it, and she's not, like, in danger of a lawsuit or anything like that. Wow, man. Laura, some days I love you, and some days I just sigh. Truth for all. This is not the way to keep the House. Sorry if your feelings were hurt, but eyes should be on the prize, which is keeping the House, not using your platform to go after pro-Trump reps. Yeah, people were not happy about that. So, Tom Tillis tweets about it. Republican senator from key state of North Carolina weighs in. Tom Tillis says, Laura Loomer is a crazy conspiracy theorist who regularly utters disgusting garbage intended to divide Republicans. A DNC plant couldn't do a better job than she's doing to hurt President Trump's chances of winning re-election. Enough. So is he, like, implying that she is a Democrat plant? Is that, like, what he's trying to say? Oh, my God, dude. So, naturally, Loomer comes at him. What else do you do, right? She says, Tom Tillis is a rhino who attacked President Trump after January 6th and called for all of the January 6th political prisoners to remain in jail. Is that even true? Like, I don't believe anything out of her mouth by default. But okay. Tom Tillis is the DNC plant he accuses me of being. Let's examine the facts, shall we? Oh my God, I love this infighting. It's just the best. And Laura Loomer can't help it. When you have somebody with a personality like this...
And called me crazy, but what are they doing? I want to know what people are actually going to do!
This is just like tantrum level, like 2-year-old can't control your emotions. She will say and do anything. There is no calculation in what she says and does. She's ready to burn anything or anybody to the ground. She's like a bull in a china shop, in the truest sense. Last year, Tom Tillis was censured by the North Carolina GOP because they accused him of working against Donald Trump and didn't like Tillis's weak stance on immigration. Again, she just makes things up, just lies. Tillis challenged President Donald Trump's immigration policies and supported a measure that provided funds for red flag laws. The North Carolina senator opposed Trump's plan to use military construction dollars to build a wall along our nation's southern border and only agreed to show up to the RNC this year to pretend like he was unified after Donald Trump was shot in the ear. Let me just show you like one other example of Loomer and her just like debased personality, the things that she's willing to do. Oh my God, dude, it gets so bad. Do I want to bring up the really, really vile stuff? All right, let's talk about the real vile stuff that she's said. I mean, just for the sake of understanding what kind of a person she is, I feel like it's kind of important that we address this. It says, Joe Biden is reportedly having a medical emergency on Air Force One right now. This was a fake, of course, just completely made up. This is July 5th when she put this out. It was just a lie. She just made this up. And she went on a crusade against people who criticized her for this. And she starts putting out absolutely insane stuff. Listen to this. This is really, really vile. Hey, Biden, I know your dementia has eaten your brain worse than Bo's. Beau Biden is Joe Biden's son that died of cancer after serving in the military. That is like such a low thing to say. I know it's eating your brain worse than Bo's, but your degenerate son Hunter isn't Jill's son. Hunter is the son of your dead wife, Nelia, I think is pronounced. Yeah. Biden's wife and kid, I believe, got in a car accident. I don't remember, decades ago, and died in this horrific, terrible car accident. And he was just like devastated by it. He had his son Beau and his son Hunter, I believe. And he moved on after years. I think 3 years, how long it took him. Anyway, let's keep reading. The one you were cheating on with Jill Biden? No, he met Jill Biden 3 years later. They didn't even know each other. Again, just lying. She's just lying. You know, your first wife who died in a suspicious car accident that you falsely blamed an innocent man for while you were having an affair with Jill Biden? Get a grip. Facts matter. It's completely made up. All of it. It's fabricated. None of these things happened. He wasn't having an affair with Jill. Didn't even know her. Let's see. What are the other things that she lied about here? There was no innocent man blamed for this or whatever. Like, oh my God. That is how vile she gets, if you wondered. That is who Donald Trump has decided to cozy up to. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so don't trust anything that she says. Here's the point. It says, Tillis challenged Donald Trump's immigration policies and supported a measure that provided funds for red flag laws. That could just be completely made up, for all I know. I'm not sure. These people are enemies to our country and enemies of MAGA. Tillis could be working to close the borders, but he's too busy attacking me on X. Notice all of the people who are attacking me are for open borders, and they all have a record of attacking Trump. There's a pattern here. Marjorie Taylor Greene is in favor of open borders? Literally no human being in the United States is in favor of open borders. Okay, nobody thinks that we just throw it wide open and anybody can come in that wants to and they just no limits or whatever. I don't know a person that thinks that. It should be more open. It should be possible for people to have a path to citizenship or whatever, but no one is for open borders. She's just slandering people. Tillis is the one who should be condemned for his record of working against Trump. I've always supported Trump. Tillis can't say the same. So anyway, that's Laura Loomer. That's the type of person that she is. That is some vile right there. Hilariously, Donald Trump was asked about Laura Loomer and like what's going on with them right now. Check this out.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Your Republican colleagues or your allies who are concerned about your close relationship with Laura Loomer?
Well, I don't know what they would say. Laura's been a supporter of mine, just like a lot of people are supporters, and she's been a supporter of mine. She speaks very positively of the campaign. I'm not sure why you asked that question, but Laura is a supporter.
You're not sure why she asked that question, really? Have your arm around Laura Loomer and she's pressed up against you and stuff? You don't know why?
I don't control Laura. Laura has to say what she wants. She's a free spirit. Well,
Free spirit is one word for it.
No, I mean, look, I can't tell Laura what to do. Laura's a supporter. I have a lot of supporters, but I don't know what exactly you're referring to.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's very obviously a dodge, right? He's just trying to dodge the question, seems to me. Hilariously, Laura Loomer showed up to, I think this is a DeSantis rally. Yeah, this is a DeSantis event. She goes there to protest Ron DeSantis in favor of Trump, and this happens.
Acting like the far left.
Because we're acting like the far left trying to get Trump elected?
Yeah, well, you're acting like the far left. You're
trying to get Trump elected?
Being obnoxious fools, actually, not about Trump getting elected.
The same
way. Trying to get Trump elected. Trying to get Trump elected is the far left?
Yes.
Trying to get Trump elected is the far left.
Listen, I am a Trump supporter.
Well, but technically, you shouldn't be over there then.
I'm doing my job, dude.
So are we. So are we.
But
so are we.
Private property, you need to leave.
Okay.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ, dude. They can't, be normal human beings. Once again, I talked about this the other day, too. They can't just be normal people. Here's another shot of it.
And they went that long, but they have to be surprised. Yes. Why? Because of what you're wearing? They told me to say anybody wearing Trump has to go right now.
Oh, my God.
During this time.
If people are wearing Trump gear, all right, let me put it this way. If somebody showed up to a Kamala Harris rally wearing Bernie Sanders gear or whatever, I can understand them not wanting that apparel at the rally or whatever. So, cameras around and everything else. I get that. They even give people signs, shirts, and hats who are going to be sitting behind the person speaking, like Trump. And they arrange who sits where and stuff. This political rally is very much set up to improve the poll numbers of the candidate. This isn't a freedom of speech thing. You're at a private venue listening to a private speech. You have no right to be there in just whatever. You can't just take your clothes off and sit there naked. There are rules set up by the campaigns. Oh my God. And for the record, it's a little over the top to ban anybody from wearing Trump gear at a DeSantis rally, but I get that DeSantis probably did that because he figured if someone's there wearing Trump gear, they're going to be hostile and inflammatory. And he was correct. So I don't really blame him for that, honestly. This is Laura Loomer here.
During this time. Free speech.
Free speech.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to call LPD now.
That's fine. There you go. All right.
Oh my God, dude. They're just so obnoxious and difficult for no reason. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about who Laura Loomer is, a little bit more about it. This should give you a pretty good idea. By the way, she claims Jewish heritage. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if you've seen that company Goldco or whatever, where they try to get you to convert your retirement fund to gold or whatever. Total scam. But the owner of Goldco also claims to be Jewish originally, but he's a Nazi, a full-blown Nazi. As a matter of fact, Jews for Hitler as a group existed until 1935 when it was banned. Jews for Hitler. That's what we're about to listen to.
I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of these left-wing Jews, they give people a reason to have the viewpoints that they do. And I say that as a Jew. I mean, it's like the ADL.
Oh my God.
They have a budget of what, $50 million a year to combat anti-Semitism. You could really make the argument that they have a budget of $50 million to actually fabricate and make anti-Semitism. I think that they create the attacks that they claim to protest against.
That is completely fictitious. Now, for the record, I think the ADL is a fantastic company, except for a couple of things, okay? As a nonprofit, they track anti-Semitism and extremism, and they have like a big database of, David Duke and a description of who he is and all that stuff. It's really good. Like Southern Poverty Law Center has something similar. However, when this Israel-Palestine thing happened, the ADL started claiming that being opposed to Israel is anti-Semitism. And I can't abide by that. I'm sorry, man. These guys have gone off the deep end, unfortunately. They don't put a Jewish person somewhere and then attack the Jewish person with another plant just to fabricate anti-Semitic attacks or whatever. That's not happening. They don't need to fabricate anything. Plenty of this stuff happens anyway.
Create the attacks that they claim to protest against. And so I would say that maybe they ought to change their behavior and they would see a different reaction from people. What do they think people are going to do when the ADL is calling themselves the leading, Jewish organization in America and they're calling for people to be banned?
Okay, I haven't heard them say that. And banned from what? From life? From America? Like, what are you complaining that they're calling for here? From the twit? I mean, we don't want Laura Loomer banned from anything because we know how she reacts when she gets banned.
Going to do? My life is ruined. Does anybody understand how ruined my life is?
I'm sorry, man. I love that. All right. Look at this. Kyrie Irving. In October 2022, professional basketball player Kyrie Irving, a repeat NBA All-Star and member of the Brooklyn Nets, shared a link to a film with his 4.6 million Twitter followers. Yeah, I remember that. Irving is a complete nutcase. He believes in this big, complicated conspiracy theory about how Black people are the real Jewish people and the current people that occupy Israel are imposters and all kinds of crazy stuff. Super anti-Semitic nutcase stuff. And the ADL rightly wrote down in this list that he did that. I mean, I don't know what this list is for, but what is this? Yeah, I mean, it's just like recording instances of anti-Semitism. Fine, yeah, that was anti-Semitic. I don't understand what the problem is here.
Himself the leading, Jewish organization in America, and they're calling for people to be banned, right? They've even done it to me. And so this isn't about defamation.
Here you go. See, among the film's claims that Kyrie Irving tweeted out, Black people are now finding out they are the real lost children of Israel. In turn, they're realizing that the Sephardic, Ashkenazi, and Mizrahi Jews in Israel are just religious converts with no biblical blood, so on and so forth. Yeah, that's what it was about. Anyway, yeah, that's Laura Loomer, just bottom of the barrel stuff.
So this isn't about defamation. All the ADL does is defames other people who they don't agree with.
Then sue them.
And it has nothing to do with Judaism. It has nothing to even do with being Jewish or not being Jewish. It's just, if they don't like you because of your politics, they're going to attack you. When I ran TV ads in my...
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry, hang on. So you're saying somebody who disagrees with them politically is going to be criticized? Knock me over with the feather. Wow. The gall of a company or a person criticizing another company or person. We're not for free speech in this stream right here, of course. So that's not allowed. ADL is not allowed to, criticize anybody, right?
I ran TV ads in my campaign when I ran against Lois Frankel, who's a Jewish Democrat. The ADL was writing letters to the TV stations and posting on Twitter trying to get my TV ads banned.
Like, the ADL does not try to ban advertisements or whatever that are oppositional to literally every single Jewish candidate in the country. Yeah, of course that they stand for Jewish purposes. I don't even like that she's making me defend the ADL because I don't like it. It's terrible, truthfully. But the issues that she has are made up. She's very clearly an anti-Semitic nutcase.
That's terrible.
So they don't care about Jews. They actually create anti-Semitism. I would say that the ADL makes up some of the biggest anti-Semites in our country because they are actually instigating actual anti-Semitism in our country. They need to change their behavior. This is the problem, though. The Jew's worst enemy is the Jew themselves. We call them
What is that a quote from something? Is that a Hitler quote? I don't know. The Jew's worst enemy is the Jew himself. Hang on, let me look that up. I'm hoping that's a quote. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, okay. Now I'm getting some really psychotic stuff. Some psychotic quotes. I'm not seeing it, but it sounds like it might have been from Joseph Goebbels, which is the propaganda minister. It sounds like she's quoting something very esoteric, but okay.
Hating Jews in the Jewish community, and that's what these people are.
Jesus Christ, man. She is psychotic. Yeah, look here. See, Ilhan Omar was targeted by the ADL unfairly. It's ridiculous. She said something like, Israel is fighting this war against Palestine because they're motivated by money or something like that. And that's, I mean, that's totally fair. That's a fair kind of interpretation of what's happening right now. That was forever ago anyway. Now, if she had like a long history of anti-Semitic remarks, then I'd be a little concerned, but she doesn't. That was like one thing that in context completely makes sense. The ADL jumped the shark on that, if you will. I don't like them as a company, but still. Like, I don't stand for people just like making shit up is the point. All right, now, you guys remember Kanye West, right? Kanye, who famously said, I love Hitler, right? Here you go. This is something Kanye West said. This is relevant to Loomer. Just bear with me.
Say like you like the uniforms, but that's about it.
No, there's a lot of things that I love about Hitler. A lot of things.
I mean, doesn't get much clearer than that. He just, after that, he went off in this weird direction, making fun of Netanyahu. He brought like a fishnet and a Yoo-hoo drink.
Hey, Netin, what did you think about that, Netin? This is insane.
Anyway, yeah, that's Kanye West, right? Now, listen to what happened when Kanye West appeared on InfoWars that day. By the way, that's from December 1st, 2022.
Laura, we're live. What's up? This is Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer calls Kanye and talks to him, has his phone number. She called him while he was on air with Alex Jones, impromptu, and he answered.
I'm watching live. I saw you just said that you wanted me to call in, so I'm calling in.
Well, how does she have your number?
Well, she called me because she had some concerns about Milo running my campaign.
I'm not on the whole Jew thing. It's what I'm saying. I don't care if people talk about it. I believe in free speech. I'm just really worried about the forced injections, world government, 5G,
Oh my God, dude. So many conspiracy theories to debunk in so little time.
Open borders, the collapsing currencies, war with Russia. What do you think?
I don't.
Yeah, he's going to pull it right back to Hitler, of course, right?
I have all of that information. I have the information that 2 days ago I thought I was going to be put in prison because my accounts are frozen.
No, I get it. You're in Hollywood.
Okay, anyway, Jesus Christ, dude. So the point is that Laura Loomer works with all kinds of vile people, says vile things regularly, and she appears to be Donald Trump's new girlfriend, ? Let me know what you think. Are they like, a thing? I heard that she has recordings now of her, doing things with Donald Trump. Oh my God, dude. I hope she has those recordings. I hope she releases them, because how do you deny it at that point? Like, evangelicals will find a way, but it's an uphill battle to deny that Trump is just a colossal scumbag at that point, right? Yeah, tell me what you think. Are they together? Let me know. Let them date. Too much Viagra and physical exertion is probably the only thing that's going to save us from him. You know what's interesting? I haven't looked into this heavily, but I believe that Trump is an adherent to the billion beat belief. Basically, the idea is, scientifically, creatures will get about 1 billion beats out of their heart, give or take. Like, human beings will live through about 1 billion beats. Hummingbirds will have about 1 billion beats, so obviously they live a much shorter life. And your heart slows down when you're asleep, and it speeds up when you're moving around and stuff, but it's not like a hard rule. It's not like once you hit 1 billion, you die. It's just like a correlation. It's a causation versus correlation type of thing, right? You just kind of start winding down around the same time that your heart is reaching 1 billion beats. But Donald Trump, I believe, going to have to look this up to verify, believes that you get 1 billion beats and that's it. And he doesn't exercise because he doesn't want to increase those beats. I'm not even joking. Trump does believe that exercise is bad because the human heart is like a battery that gets worn out. Oh my God. It is so stupid that it's wrapped back around to be funny again. Next up, Robin Bullock is convinced politicians are reptilian space aliens. Where does he come up with this stuff? He caught Nancy Pelosi red-handed. She admitted she's a space alien come to control the human race. Well, kind of. Actually, she didn't say that at all, but God told him it's true, so it must be. We'll be right back. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. Also, take a look at my website, owenmorgan.com. I'm selling my book, Understanding Jehovah's Witnesses, 400 pages, and my second book, 100 Questions for Jehovah's Witnesses, which is about 80 pages. And you can find them both there on the website. Audio form, ebook form, whatever. It's about my experiences within the religion and the history of the religion generally.
They said it's bizarre the way he's whispering. He'd lean in and go, I did that. It was me that did that. And on he would do that. And he'd just look and his eyes would get big and his mouth would just hold open. And I heard that sound and I thought, that's an evil spirit. I hear that. I went back and took a picture of it with my phone. Well, you've got one still picture with 3 different eyes. It's all in one picture.
Okay.
And that's the only one I want you to see right now.
Okay, here it is.
Okay. Now that's when he leaned in and whispered, the first one on the left. This is the one in the middle where the camera, I started zooming the picture in. And look how the right eye is changing. And then there's the right eye.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking about the white part that's up and down? Or is it
the pupil, the eyeball, and the slotted pupil down the middle?
This is Robin Bullock. He's a Trump prophet. Claims that God gives him secret messages about Donald Trump. It's just insane. Well, he goes on here and makes all kinds of wild claims on this recent, it's called an intelligence briefing. That's the video. He titled it Intelligence Briefing with Robin Bullock on the right and Steve Schultz on the left. Oh my God, dude. And he went down this weird, like, reptilian road, claiming that Nancy Pelosi blew the lid off of everything, revealed that she really is a space alien, okay? A reptilian space alien. Listen to this clip here.
She looks at this and she says, we're different than the president.
All right.
She does.
Notice what he's doing with his hands. If you're the audio audience, he's putting his hands up like, just flat. I don't know why. Like he's counting to 10 or something.
The president.
All right.
She does like this. She says, we're different than the president. We're not like them.
Now he's waving his hands around? Like, why?
We're not like them. What? Who's we and who's them?
Really? You don't know who we and them is in this conversation?
What? Who's we and who's them?
Yeah, here we go.
He said, maybe you can win 5. I said, I want 10. He said, is that your prediction? I said,
I think she's talking about seats in the House of Representatives. She wants to win 10 seats. I think in supposedly this is from August 20th, 2024. I'm not sure.
I said, I want 10. He said, is that your prediction? I said, I want 10, at least. We want 31 when we won and win. Now, remember, in the last election, they said we were going to lose 30 or 40 seats. What? They didn't know what they were talking about. We know we're different from the presidential. We're very discreet.
Okay, so she's saying that we, as in like the House of Representatives, because she's a House member, or was, I'm not sure if she still is, the House members can like zero in on specific political races and put a ton of time and money into it, where the president has to like work in like multiple swing states, like at least 5 states, probably 10 states to campaign there and keep everybody happy. But the House of Representatives in Pennsylvania, they know they can focus on fracking, for example, because that's like the core issue there. I think that's what she's trying to communicate. We're different from the president in that we can focus on specific things more directly.
We're different from the presidential. We're very discreet, reptilian, cold-blooded. These are the races we have to win. Others are winning the whole country. 10.
But you heard the word, didn't you? Reptilian? She said the word reptilian, and you know what that means, right? Either she could have used like an odd word choice there to say that she's cold-blooded or that Democrats can be cold-blooded in these local races. That it's one of the two. It's either that or she's saying that she's a space alien that's come to take control of the U.S. government and force American citizens to give up Christianity. I suppose that could be The alternative. Tell me what you think in the comments. Is that what she meant? Did she mean she's a space alien? Robin thinks so.
Why would you use these words?
Reptilian of all the choices.
And
Yeah.
and everybody say don't mingle politics and religion. You know what? Joe Biden did that.
What, you saying Joe Biden talks about being Catholic all the time? Yeah, he's Catholic. Are you serious? But he didn't bring it into politics. He was just talking. He didn't like use his Catholic faith as the basis for a law or something. That's what I'd have a problem with.
Trying to accuse us of something they're doing. This is why Noah Harari said, if Trump wins, it'll be the death blow to what we're doing. It'll be the kind of death blow to it. They understand.
Yeah, I don't know who Noah Harari is or whatever, but he's obviously also a reptilian, as well as Biden. Oh my God, dude. These people's brains are fried. They are fried. I just don't I don't know how they got here. Oh, dude. All right, I covered this, the whole thing. He did this intelligence briefing, and I covered the whole thing on my Unfiltered channel, Owen Morgan Unfiltered. And it was just one bizarre claim after another. All right, check this out. He believes that he's uncovered a secret about Biden.
When Biden was running for president, he had on the front of his podium, "Battle for the soul of a nation."
I think you mean lectern, but okay.
Remember, he would lean in and whisper, and the news people noticed it.
They did?
They said it's bizarre the way he's whispering.
Who said that? I'll tell you what he's talking about if you don't know. This is from years ago. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, this is from 2021, early July 2021. He was talking about this exact same thing back then. And let me just show you what he's talking about here.
That much is because I'm smart. He know how to game the system. Well, guess what, Mr. President? I'm coming for you.
Okay, that's just like a normal thing. I'm coming for you.
Coming for you.
Be sure the volume's in the stream well. I want everybody to hear this sound.
Oh my God. Yeah, he does a number of these. Here's another.
In 20 days, give me a break. Need time.
Right. So someone asked, are you going to do this healthcare thing? Or I don't even know what it was. And he said, it's been 20 days. Give me a break. But this is a demon speaking through Biden, you see. That's what he believes. I'm not joking. That's real.
I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential.
Talking about COVID relief, I guess.
This week for childcare. Just remind them, I wrote the bill on the environment.
Okay, that's just like the way he talks. Are you serious?
Why would I not be for it? Pay them more. This is an employees bargaining chip now.
Anyway, yeah. So he thinks that that's the demon coming out of Biden. That is 100% real. Just watch the rest of this 2021 video.
Anyone that's ever dealt in deliverance in the ministry, where they deal with demonic spirits and evil spirits, will know that sound. They know exactly what they're hearing. While
a whisper?
Press says it's whispers. Anyone that's ever been in deliverance ministry knows what that is. It's the voice of a demonic spirit. And people say, well, that's pretty far out. Is it? Is it?
Yes, it is.
What spirit is it, brother? It's the spirit of the serpent that possesses the jackal. Now, show the first.
Why are we bringing animals into this? I don't understand, dude. Yeah, he thinks Biden is a jackal. And he has this really weird song about it. Oh, man. I can't go down this whole rabbit hole, but this is really short.
Grab a jackal by the leg, shake him like a dog, throw him all across the ground.
He's talking about Biden. I do not advocate any animal cruelty of any sort.
Grab a jackal by the leg, shake him like a dog.
Dude, I love the little hand motion he's using to kind of illustrate what he wants to do to Biden.
By the leg, shake him like a dog and throw him across the ground.
Oh, I love it, man. This is where you end up when you have a failed rock career, a failed musical career. Oh, man. Just the best. People call him Silly Ray Cyrus. Yeah, that's a good name for him, and I like it. But I don't do the nickname thing. I think that's probably like, it's not helpful. And I can't in good conscience complain about Trump using ridiculous nicknames for people if I use them too. So Silly Ray Cyrus will stay in the closet where it belongs. Anyway, so this whole Biden whisper thing, let's get back to that. He thinks that Biden whispering is a sign of the Antichrist or some other thing.
They said it's bizarre the way he's whispering. He'd lean in and go, I did that. It was me that did that.
No, he wouldn't.
And on he would do that. And he'd just look and his eyes would get big and his mouth would just hold open.
Dude, he's just like a person talking.
And I heard that sound and I thought, that's an evil spirit. I hear that. I went back and took a picture of it with my phone. Well, you've got one still picture with 3 different eyes. It's all in one picture.
Okay.
And that's the only one I want you to see right now.
Okay. One single picture zoomed in to show the eyes, I guess is what he's saying. Okay. By the way, somebody says, why is there a menorah behind him? If you look closely, there's also a shofar behind him in this. That's because he's leaned into Christianity's Judaic roots or whatever. He even gives he does the Star Trek blessing. That's a real Jewish symbol, apparently. I didn't know. It's like a blessing or something. Anyway.
Okay, here it is.
Okay. Now that's when he leaned in and whispered.
Okay, but that's not one image. Are you serious right now? Look at this. The dude's mouth is completely different on the left. It's not the same at all. He's looking in a direction. All right, go on.
The first one on the left. This is the one in the middle where the camera, I started zooming the picture in. And look how the right eye is changing. And then there's the right.
Wait, why not the left eye? Why is the left eye totally normal? And also, that's very obviously glare from a light, like a reflection from light. He's got to know this, right?
Right eye.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking about the white part that's up and down? Or is it
the pupil, the eyeball, and the slotted pupil down the middle?
Yeah, it's slotted, and there's kind of either a white part of the glare and then a black
part of the glare. Dude realizes, that's just like glare from the lighting. He realizes how ridiculous this is, and he calls it out, and Bullock just pretends he didn't. By the way, slotted eyes are an evolutionary adaptation, I believe. However, not all snakes have that. Here you go. Here's a little danger noodle right here with round eyes. They're not all like slotted like that.
Yeah. That eye is gold. If you get it up close enough, it's
gold.
Golden eye.
I see. Okay.
And it's got a slotted serpent.
Yeah, up and down. Vertical slotted is what you're saying. Yeah.
Every time he whispered, that showed up. He comes back and says, I'm going to drop out of the race. I'm not going to run. I was watching the thing, so I took another picture.
Okay.
And here's what showed up.
Dude, this looks like Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump had a love child. The tiny little face, and it's orange. It's like he painted his face orange or something. What is this? Where does the forehead begin and the rest of the head end? I don't understand. How did he get this picture? Why is it so narrowed in? His phone does not take pictures like this.
How about that?
Wow.
How about that?
Can you see that?
No.
Yeah,
you see, they're gold eyes and slotted pupils.
Dude, even Steve Schultz is like, yeah, I mean, I see it. I'm not sure what you want me to see, though, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
We do remember now, right, that he's blue-eyed?
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
I don't even have any idea what they're talking about. I don't know if that's true. It's very likely just completely fabricated. Like, everything that they're saying is fabricated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that's just the light. Really? Really? Well, that's all.
Yes, it is really just the light. Is this mind-blowing to you? Let me just pull up a picture of Joe Biden and look real close. Oh my God. When I look up Biden eyes, all I'm getting is modified images of Biden having demonic eyes and all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm just trying to find a normal picture of the guy. Jesus. When he laughs, he kind of closes his eyes a lot. It's like impossible to find a picture of him with just normal open eyes. Okay, well, it's an older picture, but, you know, your eye color doesn't really change that much, right? I guess. It's kind of what his eyes normally look like, I suppose. Yeah, I guess they are blue normally, but this color has very obviously been modified either way, right? Biden does not paint himself orange like this. He changed the hue, clearly.
So well, that's just the light. Really? Really? Well, that's awesome, isn't it?
So, yeah, anyway, these people need help, for real. He also seems to think that, like, oh my God, I don't even know how to say this, that Satan was the first trans person, and he proves, without a shadow of a doubt, that transgenderism is incorrect.
The only standard for the truth is the Bible. That's the only standard for the truth.
Okay, but the Bible isn't all true. Whatever.
There's no other truth.
Yes, there is. It is true that I'm wearing a hat right now. Is that in the Bible? I didn't read it in there. There's truth outside the Bible all over the place. What do you mean? What is he intending for somebody to, like, interpret here? I don't know what, like, point he's trying to make by saying there's no truth outside the Bible.
There's no other truth. All truth, Steve, is based on the Bible. All truth is based on the truth of God.
Me wearing a hat has nothing to do with God.
Truth is based on the truth of God. If there's any truth in anything, then it is carrying the DNA of God.
Okay, so the fact that I'm wearing a hat carries the DNA of God? Like, not me, not the hat, but the fact carries the DNA of God. Go on, I'm with you.
If it's true, then it's carrying the DNA of God, at least in that part. That's true.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, somebody points out, Robert Adsat, God has DNA? Since when? Why would God, like, did he always exist? Is he subject to evolution? I don't understand.
Now, ideologies, if they're true, will carry God's DNA in that. Well, the scripture said, now that's with ideas or physical truth. Well, the physical truth says.
Wait, there's physical truth? Okay, I'm trying to honestly understand this. Ideas are not physical truth, but they still carry the DNA of God, even though it's not physical. Isn't DNA a physical manifestation of traits or whatever? Well, I don't know. It's not manifestation. That's not the right word. It's I guess the instruction set for how your body will be designed. Like, how does that translate into an idea at all?
Physical truth says this. It says that he created man in his own image.
The physical truth says this?
And in his own likeness. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. This is the truth. And all truth concerning this will carry within it this DNA.
What is he reading from right now? He's reading from something because the Bible does not talk about DNA. In all seriousness, what he's likely reading from, I don't even remember now, is his own writings. He carries this notebook around his house, and when he gets stricken with a message from God, just thinks of something on the spot, he pulls out his pen and writes it down, what he believes God is telling him. And he comes up with some wild stuff. Oh my God. I mean, we're listening to it here, right? So anyway, I'm not sure what he's reading from, and I'm assuming it's like a prophecy or whatever that he wrote down that God gave him the other day.
And all truth concerning this will carry within it this DNA. So if it carries within it this DNA, then there's no way that transgenderism can be true.
Okay, I'm sorry. You lost me. I mean, you lost me after premise number one, but I don't understand. What's he even saying? Truth carries DNA, so transgenderism cannot be true? I'm honestly trying to understand here.
It can't be from God. There's no way. It can't be because it would carry the DNA of he created male and female.
Yeah.
Created he them.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. Well, when you got a man and you convince him that he's a woman.
Okay, well, first of all, he created them male and female. That does not exclude necessarily somebody realizing that they are a woman rather than a man. Like, you're still within that binary set or whatever, right? So I'm not sure what he's trying to get at here. And second,
when you got a man and you convince him that he's a woman.
Men are not convinced that they're women by people around them or whatever. Get a grip on reality. You know, when I left Jehovah's Witnesses, I had the option of doing anything that I wanted with my life. When I realized that it was just ridiculous nonsense and I could move on, I could have gone into drugs, I could have been gay, I could have been trans, whatever. Guess where I ended up? A straight cis guy, married to my wife with a kid. That's where I ended up. Interesting, huh? Almost like it's not something that people just want for the sake of wanting it. Almost like it's not something people could like be convinced to do or talked into. Has Robin Bullock ever woken up in the morning and thought to himself, I feel inside that I am a woman, but I'm pushing that aside because I know it's wrong because God doesn't like it? Has he ever thought that? I don't understand how he could possibly say the things that he's saying if he hadn't thought that.
Then the truth of God has been turned into a lie, and it's not in that. There's no truth of God in that.
So I don't understand what the hell he's talking about.
See, all truth would carry the DNA of the truth.
When you say the DNA, are you the seed of the serpent? Are you talking about a spiritual DNA or the metaphorical DNA, or are you talking about something?
I don't know that we're not talking about all the above.
Oh.
Wait, do you not know that we're not talking about this? Do you know we are? What do you mean? What is metaphorical DNA? What is spiritual DNA? Oh my God, dude. These two people. This is entertaining as hell.
DNA or the metaphorical DNA, or are you talking about something?
I don't know that we're not talking about all the above.
Okay, all of the above.
Spirit.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get that. All right.
Mental, physical, everything.
Okay.
Spirit, mental, physical, everything. Wow, dude. These people are the biggest suckers on planet Earth. Seriously. Oh my God. How did Robin Bullock get here? And a more poignant question, how did he get poor suckers to believe him, that he knows what he's talking about? How did he get these ridiculous fools to buy into his Trump prophecies? This is honestly entertaining as hell to me. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. That's all I've got for you. If you like what I do and you want to see me continue to do it, don't forget to check me out on Patreon. And take a look at my YouTube channels. Owen Morgan, where I talk about religious issues. Telltale Fireside Chat, where I talk about politics. Telltale Unfiltered, where I do long-form breakdowns of stuff like this. And take a look at my website, owenmorgan.com. I'm selling my book, Understanding Jehovah's Witnesses, 400 pages, and my second book, 100 Questions for Jehovah's Witnesses, which is about 80 pages. And you can find them both there on the website. Audio form, ebook form, whatever. It's about my experiences within the religion and the history of the religion generally. Okay, thanks for watching, guys.